Welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol. Leo, this is going to be your mid-August reading for 2024. And in today's reading, we're going to be doing Carol's check-in. And so for the last 2 weeks of August, I'm going to be looking at what pattern is showing up in your life right now for healing. And oftentimes, we know that this is a pattern. It'll come up and it'll trigger us emotionally. And yet our ego self sometimes can step in and spin this and tell us all kinds of stories as to why this isn't a pattern, why we need to resist looking at this pattern. But patterns are the universe's way of showing us what is coming up for healing that is sitting in our shadow. So if you are unfamiliar with the word shadow, because it is going to be some shadow work that we're going to be doing in step 2, I've left you a really good video in my description box below called Carol's Power, for my 4-step guide to shadow work. I don't know why I got that all mixed up. So it's called my powerful 4-step guide to shadow work. I think I've said it so many times and I mess it up every time. And it's in my description box below. It's all about facing your own shadow. It's a video that I put together on my other YouTube channel called Carol Cares. And it's a video about that I put together. It's a compilation of how I do my own shadow work to heal my own complex trauma. And I've been on a intensive healing journey for the last 7.5 years. And and out of it has come reading tarot for you. So, there's something in your shadow that's coming up for healing, and it'll constantly be pushing at you and the universe will give you this pattern over and over again, and that's what we need to look at. And so we're going to identify that. And then finally, in the 3rd spot, we're going to ask the tarot for some advice as to how you can begin to heal that, because this is really what's important, is that you start on the healing journey. It's a process. And so, it's not going to all come at once, but I will also give you another video, suggest another video or playlist for you that will be related to exactly what's coming up in this reading for you. So we're going to get started. I have just a couple announcements while I sort of shuffle these cards. I've already pre-shuffled them, but I'll link your August reading that I've done for you. I'll link that at the end as well. And personal readings are out by me. If I know some of you have been asking, and I finally got them out. I put a really short video out for you on the channel a couple days ago, and there's a link in my comment section and a link in the description box below that'll take you to a Yellow Cardinal website page, my carolcares.com website, and it'll have all the readings listed there for you, and they're readings that you've seen here with me. And I'm offering you a 10% discount until September 1st, so you can have a look at that if you're interested. So let's begin after all my blah, blah, blahing. Sometimes I seriously have to turn the camera off and start over because I talk too much. So let's look. I'm going to ask the tarot now for one card that is showing up for your pattern this end of August here. One card, please. And it's spinning, and it stops at the 7 of Swords for you in reverse. It was neat to watch it spin and then waited till it landed. All right. What aspect of your shadow is showing up right now, or is actually it's showing up for healing, but it's going to be the aspect that's driving this pattern, that's having the most impact on it. If we allow things to sit in our unconscious, which are the things that we have repressed all our life, they're going to keep coming up for us to heal. And so we're going to look at what aspect in part 2 is coming up for your shadow. Interesting, you have the Magician card. Now it's kind of sideways here. We'll put it upright for now, but interesting card. That card, I'm not going to lie to you, has not come out in the longest time for me, especially these readings, has not come out, but it just doesn't often come out. So we'll talk about that. What advice does the tarot have for you right now for healing? And one card, please. It's given me 2. So I guess I got to accept them. The 10 of Coins, which is the 10 of Pentacles, And the King of Coins. Interesting. Two interesting cards here to end off with. Love this deck. I don't know if I talked about this, that I'll be using the Tarot Grand Luxe. This is the decks I'm using right now. I just saw it a while back and I decided to purchase it. If you're interested in tarot cards, it shuffles. It's like it's a big deck, but it really shuffles nicely. They're thin enough that they're beautiful, beautiful cards. So let's, we're going to use also the Tarot of the Abyss to clarify. Another deck that I love as well. It's my favorite black and white deck. I think it's my only black and white deck, but it's my favorite one. I don't want to buy another black and white deck because I'm like, I don't know if it's going to be the same. So, yeah, I pre-shuffled these as well. So, can I have some clarifiers for the Seven of Swords, please, Tarot? 2 or 3 clarifiers here. Oh, I spit out so many. Like 5. All right. You're going to get a bit of a story here for the Seven of Swords. It just went boom. Ace of Wands. And I know this particular deck, it doesn't usually spit out this many cards for me. So I think I needed to keep them. 3 of Pentacles is in reverse. 3 of Swords in reverse. 5 of Swords. Wow. 6 of Swords. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm going to say I did pre-shuffle. When I pre-shuffle, I mean I take them and I just do a big mash on my table. The best way to shuffle my cards. You have the 7 of Swords here. And then you have the 3 of Swords, the 5 of Swords, and the 6 of Swords. Lots of sword energy. So when I get to that card at the beginning there, I'll discuss the 7 of Swords. And I think, you really need to pay attention to this first line because there is so much sword energy in here and you're feeling it right now. The Magician, can you clarify the Magician for me? Let's go with 2 cards since I have a story at the top. This reading might take just a little bit longer, Leo, for you. That's all right. I mean, sometimes it's needed, The Magician, oh, there's 1 and there's 2. I'm going to stop at those 2. And so you have the World card. You have the World card and the 5 of Cups. 3 interesting cards here for what's sitting in your shadow. So can we clarify the 10 of Coins and the King of Coins here? 2 to 3 cards. And maybe another card here. See if there's anything else. Okay, so we have the Fool. Haven't seen the Fool come out for a bit. And the Justice card. So, 2 major arcana cards here that are sitting here. And major arcana cards are those universal big forces that they just come into our life. It's not something that we can really try to control at all because they just happen. Magician card as well and the World card. So just looking at your reading right here, like I said, there's all these sword energy here and there's not one major arcana card up here. So this is definitely what's going on with you right now in your kind of your day-to-day life that you're feeling. And we're going to look at your shadow. And you have 2 major arcana cards. And then, like I said, 2 over here for advice for healing. So, let's start off with the 7 of Swords. And I think it's really, really important that we talk about what Swords energy is. Swords energy, first of all, is your mental health, your mental body. And the sword in particular are, the 7 of Swords, let's talk about that. So the 7 of Swords, it's called the Thief card, and it's in reverse, but we'll look at it from an upright position. And you have this individual that looks like, they're walking away, they're stealing these 5 swords here, and there's two left behind for some reason. Maybe got scared off, but these mental beliefs that he's running away with, and I'm going to put those in quotation marks, are these mental belief systems that we have about ourselves. It's what we believe. And oftentimes we will hear ourselves say things in our head like, you're an idiot, you're stupid, why are you doing that? Like, you know, those messages that you can tell yourself that really usually are not really good messages but it's like they're on repeat in our head. And they're messages that we stole, again in quotation. We've inherited them. They were handed down to us. These are messages that people told us when we were growing up, our caretakers, adults around us. Could be even like, you know, younger kid when we were younger, playing on the playground. But they're things that people told us. And they're all our belief systems that are buried in our unconscious, for sure. And they keep coming up, sort of like to haunt us all the time, right? Just to remind us that, you know, for some of us, that you're a piece of crap, or, you know, just to remind us, keep us in place, right? And this is in reverse here. And so I can see here that you're very, very, very much up in your head, not recognizing, not realizing how much these swords have just, these belief systems have really taken over your life and have really caused you to self-identify by what these belief systems are. So people have told you who you are when you were younger, and that has shaped you, and you're continuing to live by that and believe that. And that's a very painful place to be when you're up in your head with these, kind of like these swords on repeat, right? Just jabbing at you and saying, hey, listen, like, keep reminding you who you are. And right behind that, we're going to clarify this, you know, this head spinning that's going on in your head and where you are right now. Give a little bit more information here because there is a story. So the Ace of Wands is, you know, and this is your current life. This is where you're sitting. And you have this Ace of Wands coming up right behind it, which is quite interesting. And the Ace is always like an offer from the universe. It's a gift, and we normally take it. And it's on offer here, and it's saying, look, we can take this into a different direction if you want. And the wand is like this creative, purposeful direction that we go in our life. And so I'm seeing here that there's an offer from the universe for you to take your life in a different direction here. Almost, I'm going to say, I'm hearing the word perspective, like just to see things in a different perspective here, because you are quite up in your head. And it's like your ego self has really taken control of you, like I said, and you have this belief that this is who you are. And sometimes we think, well, maybe this is who I'm supposed to be all my life. And you know, I think this Three of Pentacles card comes up here for you. And this is probably my favorite Three of Pentacles card in all my decks. In an upright position, it's these people that are these hands that are grabbing onto this rope. I think of tug of war when I look at this, but I mean, they're grabbing. There's not just, you know, a pair of hands. There's a couple people here that they're grabbing onto this rope for dear life, for support, right? And it's in reverse here. And so I'm feeling like, you know, there's a few things that this could mean for you. I'm feeling like you don't feel like you're supported at all. You're looking for support. You want support, but it could be just a question of giving up. Because right here, this is like, you know, you're grabbing onto someone for support. And right here, it's like, I've given up. And so for me, the Three of Pentacles, when it does come in, it often, because this is a healing channel, I look at it as a card of getting back into therapy or getting some help. But it's in reverse here. So there's either on your part a resistance to getting therapy, getting back into therapy, thinking that there's people that, you know, out there that could actually understand you or help you. And believe me, I've been in this position before. I've been through many, many therapists. And until I found the right one 7.5 years ago. But, you know, it's taken me my lifetime to find that right one person that understood me and could support me and validate me and help me to see what the fuck was wrong with me, right? That's what got me into, you know, therapy in the first place years ago, because I didn't know what was going on with my head. And I was in this Seven of Swords position where I just spun and spun and spun. Didn't think there was anybody that could ever figure me out, right? Because I couldn't figure myself out. So I don't know what the Three of Pentacles means for you, but you'll relate to that somehow from what I just said. And the Three of Swords comes in right after that. Now here's another, you have Three Swords card, like I said. So these are all about our mental thoughts. And the Three of Swords is in reverse here. And I'm seeing here that you're fighting. You know that there's something here. You might even think there's something wrong with you. And that's what I thought so many years, because there's a lot of pain. You have a lot of pain that you're resisting dealing with. And it makes sense, right? It's related to all these thoughts that are in your head. And the Five of Swords is here. And the Five of Swords is, I call it my bullying card. This particular, this child, he's young. He's not really a child. He's maybe an adolescent here, maybe. He's looking at this butterfly in the jar. He's bigger. He's a human. He's bigger than this butterfly. He knows at any particular moment he can take that butterfly and prick it with this needle. And, all I have to do is lift off the lid of that jar. And so it's a card of bullying, but I really look at it from the perspective of the victim, which is the butterfly here. And I always look at it in the Rider-Waite deck. It has this individual that's covering his head out of shame. And so you have a lot of shame here that's behind this pain. And this is what's causing so much pain in your life. And all these swords that you continue, this mental energy that you continue to tell yourself over and over and over again, this is the pain that you're feeling, the shame that needs to be healed. And then you have the Six of Swords here. And, this is a tough card to end with in this first half here. In an upright position, you have this bird, this eagle, this whatever bird this is that's carrying this individual to a place of safety. This is my safety card, the Six of Swords. And it's in reverse here. So I have to say to you, ask you, are you in a safe place right now in order to heal this? One of the most important things that you need when you're on this healing journey is to get yourself to a safe place. If you are with people, and that could be your family of origin, that could be a partner that you have, that could be friends that you have, colleagues, people that you have in your life right now. And that, it could be your own family. It could be your own kids, actually, your grown kids, that are maybe continuing to remind you, of maybe how much of a piece of crap you are, or how unworthy you are, and might continue to trigger the shame by treating you in an unworthy way. And so I think you need to look at that, what sort of situation am I sitting in my life right now that, am I safe? Or do I think I'm safe and maybe I'm actually being re-traumatized? And that's something that you really need to look at. This is a general reading. And so this is the pattern that's showing up for you right now, where, you continually have these spinning thoughts in your head. And so the pattern could be being brought on by people around you, the shame being thrown at you every so often. So it's time to, like I said, kind of look at, okay, what's going on here? Where is this shame coming from? Because shame is not yours. You're not born with it. It's something that's given to you. But there's something in your life that's making you feel it again over and over and over. And that's the pattern. And where is this coming from? Well, the Magician card comes up here as in your shadow. And that's a very interesting card to come up in your shadow. And it's your main card here. And so the Magician is a card that comes out. It's a major arcana, number 1 in the deck. And it comes out primarily to tell you that, you have all your answers inside of you. You have everything in you. You have an internal guidance system, and it's you. And a lot of times when we are surrounded by people that, you know, can control us or can continue to traumatize us, we forget. We forget who we are, right? We're up in our heads and we forget who we are. But you have an internal guidance system. You have intuition. You have all the answers that you need inside of you. You have the power to change this, as difficult as it is. And then right beside it is the World card, you know. This is such a lot. The one reason why I picked this deck is because I love this World card. I mean, it has the sign of the lemniscate here, this eternity, this eternity sign. This, I'm losing the word here. I'm blanking out on this word, but it's the continuation. He has a snake here that's eating himself, and it just talks about things that renew itself, and it just goes on and on and on. Infinity is the word I was looking for. Infinity. And it has this eye here in this card, and it's that whole I think inside of you, inside of your shadow, is a real knowing of who you are. And that's why there's a call here to go in here, because there's a real knowing of who you are. And if we can be living in our head so much here and living by what everybody else has called us or told us who we are, we forget that we can go inwards and find out and get in touch with our own inner guidance, our own inner power, and our own inner knowing. There is so much here for you, and this is a reminder, this World card. There is so much here for you to explore that's sitting in your shadow. But the one thing that really is sitting here at the end that you can't, you have beautiful cards right here in your shadow. It's like, this is waiting for you. Once you go inwards, you know, once you get out of your head and you go inwards, there's something, beautiful things that are waiting here for you. But the Five of Cups here comes in. And that explains to me what's sitting behind all of this is this individual that really, when they were younger, were in a position where they just gave up, right? And this card is really a card of hopelessness. And you may be sitting in a place of hopeless right now, especially because of all this energy, this sword energy that's going on in your head. And so there was a part of you when you were younger that really, really gave up. I'm going to pull one more card here for you for my shadow. Oh, that one just fell out. Yeah. Oh, Ten of Swords. More sword energy. And these are all the thoughts that people told you about yourself. Here they are. They did you in. So many people told you things about yourself that were not true. And your real self is sitting right here. Here's your real self. Here's your inner knowing who you are, sitting in your shadow. Your real self is sitting in your shadow. That's who we really are. And, you know, there's this, it's a beautiful World card waiting for you to explore who you are. But there's so much hopelessness and shame here because of what people told you. And you may be sitting, like I said, and maybe I'm repeating myself, and I am, but you're sitting in a situation where I believe that there is someone or people in your life that are continuing to shame you, and that kind of keeps it going, right? Keeps the hamster wheel going. We stay on it until sometimes we have to distance ourselves from people. And so what is the advice that the tarot gives you here? How can you start to heal the shame? These belief systems, and try to find out, you know, move towards your authentic self and who you are. We have the Ten of Coins here. And that's in reverse. The Ten of Coins is the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles is a generational card. I look at this individual and he's collecting these coins, you know. Sometimes we can have these coins that are handed down to us. And, you know, pentacle by pentacle by pentacle. So what is it that was handed down to you? Well, your shame, right? Because the people that gave you your shame were shamed themselves. And we tend to, this is like a lineage card. We need to look at, you know, where did you come from? How was this handed down to you? It's in reverse here. And so I think that the universe wants you to start to examine that and look at, you know, where did this come from? The shame, like I said, was never yours. Where did it come from? And then you have the King of Coins, the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles here. Pentacle is all about the body. It's all about getting back into your body. It's all about grounding. It's all about our self-worth. And the King in my deck is the masculine side of us. We all have a masculine side and we all have a feminine side. It doesn't matter what gender you are. The King is our ego self. And the King here is blocking you. It's going to tell you, your ego self is going to tell you, you know, getting back into your body and starting to feel the shame and where it came from. Don't go there is what your ego self is going to tell you. Your ego self is petrified of emotions. It wants to keep you in your head. It wants to keep you spinning on all these mental thoughts here. It wants you to believe. It wants you to believe. Continue to believe that this is you, right? It's status quo for the ego self. They're a petrified part of us. And they do not want you to start to go searching for who you really are and your authentic self. And so we have to really watch out for that part of us, our ego self, that wants to keep you up here. Instead of going back into our body where the magician talks about coming back in and getting in touch with your inner knowing here and finding out, where does this shame come from? And here's the Fool card. You know, here's the Fool card. And the Fool card doesn't come often in my deck. It's like when it comes up, it's like, oh, here's the Fool. It's exactly my reaction. And the Fool card is almost like if you see this individual that's ready just to take a walk off that cliff and knows that the universe has their back. And it's almost like a card from the universe. It's a major arcana, you know, force here, major force, and it's saying, I'm going to give you a little bit of push here. You're so close. You're just at that precipice. You're so close to jumping off. And you have to have that leap of faith in you that when you do jump off, the universe is going to have your back and you're going to change all of these thoughts around that you have about yourself, because it's time. This Fool card is like, it's time. You're right there. It's time for what? Well, here's the other major arcana card. To bring some frickin' justice to this situation, you know? To find out who you really are. Your truth. The justice usually has a balance in it, and it has a sword, and the sword is all about finding out your authenticity, right? Because all of these swords that people handed to you, these belief systems when you were younger, they're not you. They're not true. They're not your authentic self. And the Justice card is the last most beautiful card to end this for you, is that, you know what? It's time to bring justice to this situation, Leo, and to start to find out who you are, not who people told you who you are. Wow. So I'm definitely going to leave you with a playlist on shame, and just to find out, you know, what is shame and how we're going to start to work on healing some of the shame that people gave you. And so I'll leave you with that. And I want you to have compassion for yourself, Leo, for what you're working through. This is a very difficult journey, and I see that you're, you know, in a lot of pain here. But this is the most important journey of your life. So I want you to get safe and stay safe. And I'll see you in September. Talk soon. Bye-bye.